Oh, I'm so sorry, everyone. I'm not quite sure what happened there, but hopefully I'm back with you and you can see that I've come live again. For whatever reason, my phone did something weird and flicked over and I couldn't find the right button to get me back to normal. Hopefully you're back with me. Apologies, but I am going to carry on so that we can get a full live videoing going. So I'm going to carry on with my second rose and do some more petals on it. And I'm just turning my card. Hi Rexina, thank you for coming back and joining me. The wonders of technology. I've worked in IT all my career and I can't work this new technology out, but thank you. So I've done 2 of the larger roses now, and I'm going to do the third one. Just going to do another Swiss roll, bring some petals round, make them wavy. And this one's going to touch the N. It's not going in front of the N. It's going to be behind. So I'm going to draw another petal here. Thank you, everyone. I am so sorry. I will get the hang of this technology at some point. Honestly, what am I like? But it is Sunday, so, you know, it could be forgiven. Hi, Sally. Hi, Nikki. Thank you. Yeah, I'm not quite sure what happened there. So I've just gone outside of the line, the pencil line of the circle. So I want to rub that out so I can see where my roses ended up. Okay, so let's just get that out of the way because then it won't confuse us. Lovely. So that's where I am so far. I want to now turn my attention to this gap in the middle. So what I'm going to do is I want to put some leaves in. I want to do something a little bit leafy because this is going to be quite a floral letter. So what I want to do is a curve just going up like so. I don't want to touch my screen again in case it does the same thing again. So apologies. I hope you can see what I'm doing though. Here's my curly bits on each side. So it looks a bit weird at the moment. Then I'm going to bring this round and bring up to a point. And that, as you can see, this line here is touching my petal on my large flower. But again, I don't want it to go over, so I've stopped where I've touched the petal line and picked it up further over. Then I want to go from this corner here. So I want to bring another one out. Apologies for the background noise. Jeff decided he's going to the allotment and he's just slammed the front door. I do apologise for that if you heard it as well. So we've got another leaf going on there. And then what I want to do is head up towards this part of the letter N. So this, if you want to, grab your pencil just so that you can test it out. And then we'll go from there. So another curve, bring it to a point on the second curve line. Make it little curly on either side, just 2 little curls. It doesn't matter if it goes over your petal because it's in pencil. And then again, bring it round, stop when it touches the letter N and just shadow over it so you can see where it's going and bring it up. Go to the other side, stop where it hits the rose petal leaves. Imagine where it's going to come out and bring it up to the point. When you're happy with that, bring it back in with pen. So go for it this way. So the reason I decided to do a tile with lots of things in it is because there's somebody who joins these live tiles quite often, and she mentioned that she likes filling up her tiles. Hi Joe, lovely to have you. Susan, thank you for coming back. Maureen, morning. Yeah, thank you. I've given you a guided tour of my house, I think, showing you my ceiling. Susan, thanks for coming back. That's great. Sally Annie, thank you. It's lovely to have you with me. And then I want to work my way to the right, because I've got one smaller leaf here. I think I want to do another one. I'm not sure, but I think I might. And I'm going to just come in with pen on this one. And this one isn't going to have curly bits. It's just going to be something that's going to come around like so. Okay. And we'll leave it at that with the leaves for the minute. On the right hand side here above these petals, it looks a little bit empty. So I'm going to do some really weird things. So, and if you have got a wobbly hand, and I do have sometimes, this is really great, because all I'm going to do is a wobble up, do a curve round and bring it back down. I'm going to do the same, but I'm not going to go so high. I'm just going to go a little bit shorter. Can you see? Going to go a little bit shorter, bring it back down. Going to do again and bring it shorter. Now, it doesn't matter if these are not straight. They can be bendy, they can be, and I'll show you the one I did as a sample, where I did it with bendy. It was more bendy and leaning. And just bring them down, just lower and lower as you go, till you get to touching, almost touching this leaf here. Okay, so that's that bit done. Then the other thing that we need is at the bottom here, I've got a gap, and it's quite a lot. So I want to try and get another leaf, but it's going to be quite flat along the bottom. So I'm going to grab my pencil and I'm going to turn my card, and I want to try, if I can, to bring something out here. So it looks like a leaf that's flat on the ground. So let me pen that one in. And that is really easy. Don't do what I do and go off your tile and hit your board, because you'll end up with ink on your board. And then the other one I wanted to do is something here, because we've got quite a lot of space. So I'll just rub out where my guideline was there and there. And as you can see, I'm only inked in the middle of my tile. I think I mentioned that just now. Okay, and then I'm going to do another one here, I think. So, hi Joe. Oh, you're quite welcome. I wobble a lot. Please, yeah, no, it's really nice. The things that you do, the things that you draw, that you share with us are absolutely lovely. So don't even think about the fact that because you've got a wobble, it's not going to be any good. Your work is lovely. And I don't think you need to worry. And tangling is for everybody. It isn't specific to any kind of audience or anyone that's any different from anyone else. So please don't worry about it. But I do. Some days I'm okay. Some days I wobble like crazy. It just depends for me. It just depends. But I do appreciate that some people, some people do, some people don't. Okay, next up then, I want to take the gap here between these leaves. What I'm going to try to do, I think I might go with pencil. I want to do one of those, it's like a walking stick. Okay, and I want to bring it back down with an aura. Okay. So then the other side I want to do the same, but I want to bring it over and cross it. So it is going to go off the tile. Now what I'm going to do, because what I don't want to do is draw all over my board. So what I'm going to do is put a piece of scrap paper underneath, which I think is going to be a lot easier. And then I'm going to follow this curve of the leaf here, and I'm going to come out the top. And you can see I've just gone off the tile. Then I'm going to do it with the aura. But you can't see where I've done the curl on the walking stick because it's gone off the tile. Grab my pen then and pen this in. I'm going to start at this top bit and get my whirly bit going around because that's easier for me. Okay, and then I'm going to come around, bring it back down to touch that leaf. Obviously, when you do your tile, it will be a lot neater. Let's do the aura and just bring it up there to meet. So you can see where I'm going with this. Then what I want to do is some bubbles in the middle, just to give it a bit of interest. I'm just going to try, see what that looks like, because I'm going around the tip of the leaf and I want the bubble to be behind the leaf. So I'm not going to go over it. I was just going around it. Okay, so let's ink that in because I quite like that. So get my pen back, put my bubble in and go for it. Now we have got some little gaps here, so we need to fill those in. I can see a couple of bits that need filling in. Okay, Sue, morning Sue, happy Easter. Yeah, exactly. The intensity varies, that's the same. You just do what you can, but if you enjoy tangling, why not? Please don't let it stop you from doing it, because it's such a mindful process and it really helps you relax a little bit, and it just takes you out of daily life for 10-20 minutes. So we've got quite a lot going on here, and then one more thing I want to do before I start looking at colours and shading and things like that. One more thing I want to do, I want to go from this point here, which I'll move up so you can see, this point here where this top rose touches the N. So what I want to do is one of those lovely commas that you all absolutely love doing. Okay, and then I want to bring just half, let's call it a petal, half a petal from the top round to the point. And then I want to do another one. Now remember, this is, if I'm doing this in pencil because it's going to go over my walking stick, and another one bringing it down, but it won't go over the walking stick. I'll rub that little bit of pencil out, it's going to go behind. So let's grab our pen and let's go for this. Up and round, almost up to the 9 o'clock mark. If that was a clock, we're at 9 o'clock, back down to the point. I love these. They look like, for me, they look like seashells. I really like these. Okay, I'm just going to rub out where my pencil lines were because it just makes it look like you've got blurred vision otherwise. So let's do that. And then what I want to do is something that perhaps we haven't done for a while, I don't think, but I want to bring another curve, a curved line coming from the point up to the circle. Okay, and it just gives this a bit more interest too. Then I'm going to turn my card so that you can see. What I want to do is divide it up. And then I'm going to fill it in. So this first section here is going to be in black with my 03 pen, because we can neaten it all up afterwards on my 03 pen. So you do it alternately, black, white, black, white, black, which just gives it a little bit of interest. Okay, and then what I want to do is with my pen, and you don't need to worry about this, just grab your pen and go for it. I want to do a curved line over all what I've already drawn, and this is what's really lovely about tangling. You can go over or under, whichever way you want to go. So I'm just going to imagine where I want this to go. Okay, and I'm just going to go for it, and then I'm going to bring my pen back down and do what I call a wavy flag. And then I want to do another one, and I'm going to start here where my seashell is, and I'm going to go the other way. Okay, and I want to bring that over, and then we're going to fill it in. So if you've got an 05 pen or a brush pen, there's a few things that I want to do now. So I'm going to go back to my flower, and all of this section here under the bubbles I'm going to fill in with my brush pen because it's quicker. And also, if you notice, I've still got my scrap paper underneath because I don't want this all over my board. I don't want to ruin my board. So I'm going to go a little bit closer and fill it all in. I'm going to turn my card so I can see what I'm doing. Yeah, I might have to find some technology expert to help me understand what I did earlier when I disappeared. That first video, it will have been published on the Facebook page, on this Facebook page. I'll delete it when we finish this, but yeah, not the best start. I just have to stop messing with my screen, and then hopefully. So yours will be a lot neater than this. Okay, so we've got a bit of drama now because we've got some inked in bits, and then the other parts that will be inked in will be this bit in between the rose and the petal here, and along the bottom as well. I'm not gonna let you watch me do that because that's a bit time wasting. So let's have a look at what else I want to fill in. I don't want my brush pen, sorry, apologies. I'm going to fill in my flags. I want these to be black as well, and I want to just fill these in. I will have to switch pens in a minute, I think, and find another 03 because this one is definitely it's one I've had for ages. So let me fill this one in, see what I can do. So hopefully you can, I'm not good at technology myself, Helen, Maureen, honestly, because I do it all day, every day at work. I just tend to switch off a bit when I'm here doing it like this. Now, what I want to do now, and you can see that I penciled in these weird circles at the top. Where the one is in between the N, the V shape at the top of the N, I'm just going to circle around in pen. Doesn't have to be perfect. Where it touches, I haven't gone over the letter. Okay, so now it just looks like a partial bubble, but it's now when I rub out the pencil lines, it's behind the N. So this one, I'm going to just follow the pencil line around. So I may go off the pencil line because my glasses, I have graded lenses. So if I don't look through the right part of my glasses, I'm in a bit of trouble. Oh, I've got to tell you, I went to the optician on Thursday because I was due for my regular eye check. Oh my goodness me. My eyes have changed, so I've got to have a new prescription. And I was like really surprised at the prices of frames. So yeah, so my decision for new frames, because I thought I'd have a change, was based on the price. Wibbly line, so that's going to hang from the top of the tile. Same with this one, from the top of the middle of your ball, we're going to do wibbly wobbly lines. It's not a problem. Okay. And then I think I want to do, I'm going to do one more thing now, and I'm going to put some more of these, what I call flags in, but I want to work out where it's going to go. So I think I'm going to go from here in the middle of the N. I'm going to go across my leaf, behind the letter N, up over the balloon or the ball, and bring it here. Okay. And then I'm going to do another one, but I'm going to probably bring it out from somewhere across from behind the N. And I want to do it that way. And then I think I might just see if I can get another one in coming that way. So it's gone over the string on the ball. And then I'm going to pen those in. Okay, so we'll go from here, stop where it meets any other lines you've penned in, and then just go for it. So that's coming out from behind the bauble or the ball or the hanging bauble, whatever you want to call it. And then we'll do this one here. And then we're going to fill those in. Just fill them in so you can see where you are. We'll rub the pencil lines out in a second. There we go. Hi, Rose. Yeah, I'm sorry about the tech. I was just talking about that. But we are back, and we're on it now. So let me just rub out some of these lines so that you can see where these flags are going. You can put them wherever you want them to go. It doesn't matter. I'll just level up that string. On my strings, I want to put some little beads, but nothing major, and put them in different, make them some bigger, some smaller, and put them in different places on your string on each one. They don't have to be all the same. Okay, so hopefully you can see where I'm heading. So Rose, you said about how you always want to fill up your tile. This one's for you. And what I really want to do now is fill in and colour in the letter N, because I want the letter to stand out. Even though we're going to colour everything in, I want the letter to stand out. So the way I've gone with this, just want to rub out some pencil lines. I'm going to use, let's see, purple gem. Hopefully you can see that. Mid pink purple and light pink purple. Now I know we're going over orange and pink and yellow on the ink tile, but that doesn't matter because I want this to really stand out. And I'm going to do a kind of an ombre design here. So make sure your pencils are sharp, by the way. Starting at the bottom of my N, just going to lay my first deep, what's it called? Sorry, purple gem. Just going to lay that down as my first colour. I'm going to do exactly the same here on the other side and get it laid down. And I'm going to go up the letter N on the diagonal as well, and just get something down in in that colour. Then I'm going to switch to mid pink purple, and I'm going to just overlap my mid pink in some of the purple gem. I'm not going all the way over, but I'm just going to overlap it so it blends in. And I'm going to go almost to this top point here where the N joins. Okay, so that gives me a guide of where my shades are going. So we've done purple gem, and I'm just overlapping a little bit now the mid pink purple. Okay, so it's just going to come across there, across the point. Then I'm going to go all the way up with this one as well, overlapping my purple gem. You will have to put a couple of layers on this, because you're going over ink tile as well. Okay, and then I'm going to go to my light pink purple, and I'm going to overlap it with the mid pink a little bit, not all the way over, up to the top of my letter N. So you can see where the colours are, where the colours change. Same with this side. And then you will need to go over it again. You'll need to put your layers in. And I think most of you will know what I mean by layers. So let's just press a little bit harder and get my light pink purple in. A little bit harder. And I'll go back to my mid pink purple. Bring that down. Okay, and down. Then we'll go back to the purple gem. We'll just put a little bit more, and another layer of the purple gem in, because that's the darker colour, so we want to make sure that that's there. I'm not the neatest, by the way, at colouring in unless I really do take my time, but I am conscious I don't want to keep you here forever. And you can see now I've just gone over into the orange edge. That doesn't matter. We can eliminate that. It's not a problem. So now I want to go back to my light pink at the top and bring that in a bit more. Same here at this side. Bring it in a bit more. And then with my mid pink, just bring it all in together. Now you can blend this with your white if you want to, but sometimes I just blend with my mid colour. You know, as Sandra says, there's loads of different ways of colouring, but you can see hopefully that the letter N is starting to stand out a bit now. So I'm going to leave that bit there, and then I'm going to take you through the colours of the other things that we've got here. So I wanted to use, for my flower here, what I would do as well is these V shapes here, I'm going to fill those in with black, but I'm going to colour, I think, first. So I'll show you the colours, then I'll show you the one that I did, so that you've got the idea. So I'm using, for this one, mid rose and light rose. Okay, and I'm going to start at the bottom with my mid rose. I'm just going to put a little bit in over those flicks. Same with each one. And at the top. I'm not going all the way, I'm not filling the whole thing in. I'm just going top and bottom at the moment with my mid rose. And even going over the orange part of my ink petal here, these colours really do stand out. These are the original pencils of Sandra's, by the way. So I think most people have got these, which is why I chose to use these ones. Now, just a bit of information, you'll have Nikki doing the next letter, which will be letter O next weekend. And then she's got a break for a couple of weeks. So you've got me for letters P and letters Q. So you've got me for 2 weeks on the bounce, if you can cope with that. And then Nikki will be back because I've got a break. So that's if we get there. We're planning to go, we've booked to go to Japan, but as you know, the trouble's over in the Middle East at the moment. We're not quite sure if we're going to get there, but we are where we are. Rose, is that Bramble? Oh, okay, thanks Nikki. Yeah, thanks for that. And then I'm going to use the light rose and go in again just a bit more, and I'm going to work towards the middle of the petal, but I'm going to leave a gap, because you can, because we want this to look a little bit 3D. Hopefully it will. And you can see where I'm heading with this. It's just little swirls. Okay. And then you will need, let me see where I've put my white. I thought I'd got my white somewhere. You will need your white, so because I've put it somewhere else, I can't find it, but you will need your white to blend in. Let me just go a little bit further up with this mid rose, light rose, sorry, just to give you an idea. And then what I'm going to do is just blend this in the middle. Start in the middle and blend out. Now, I would suggest you put more than one layer on, because that really makes a difference when you do it. Okay, so that's those. We've done the purple and the N, we've done the letters. Now, I wanted to go with the oranges for the roses. And what I went with was, mid-orange, light orange, and I think I did light red, if I'm honest. I think it was light red. So the darkest is the red. I'm not going to put another layer down or a base layer. I'm just going for it. With this one, though, I just went round the edge of all the petals. I didn't fill in. So you just go around the edges of your petals rather than fill the whole thing in. Okay. So let's see where this takes us. Just fill in there around the edges. And keep going. Now this is a bit messy because I don't want to keep you here forever. And then I'm going to go to my mid-orange and I'm going to go over that where I've put my red in. and I'm just going to blend them across. Nothing major, just to give it a hint of a variegated petal was what the idea was that I had in my head. So hopefully you can start to see what that looks like now. Turn my card so you can see where I'm going with this, because the orange is really standing out on the pink background. Really like it. I'm going to go in the middle with a little swirl as well and bring it out. And then I'm going to come in with my light orange, and I'm going to just come in a little bit in towards the middle. I'm leaving a gap so you can still see where the ink background is. I'm just leaving that little touch of hint of another colour there. So I'm not shading this with pencil. Where I've put the colour, if you want to shade it with graphite, feel free. Okay, you would do that with all your roses as well. And then I've got every colour of the rainbow today. So I want to look at this bauble here, or the ball. I'm going to go with, so this one is dark sea blue, mid sea blue, and summer sky. These are my favourites, blues and greens and aquas. So now the queen of colour, I don't know if Susan's still with us. Hi Susan, yes she is. The queen of colour is Susan. She's absolutely brilliant at this. And she's really, really good at doing what I call gems. But I'm just going to very quickly show you the basic way that you can do them. So that is my dark sea blue coming in now, just overlapping a little bit with my mid sea blue up towards the top of the ball. And then I'm going to come in with my summer sky, and I'm going to go over the top, but I'm going to leave a little gap, and then I'm going to go over all of my ball with summer sky, so you can see how it's starting to blend in a little bit. Okay, and then when with this you would put a few layers down as well, but when you've done that you would grab your white, make sure it's clean because I've just used it for the pinks. So start to blend it in with your white and off you go. Okay, so the other colours, I went back to my mid pink, mid rose and light rose for this one. It looks really lovely. And then I went with the peaches here, peaches and oranges. And this one, I just did the two yellows. So light summer yellow and citrus yellow, and blended it all with white. And then the other bit I did was with my graphite pencil. I didn't colour these in. I just added some shading. Actually, I'll go with my my red and black. So just add some shading. Around these. And the same with these. I just shaded with pencil, added graphite to them. Grabbed my tortillon, which I can never find when I need it, and just swooshed it around to give it a little bit of something different. I wanted a bit of shading and a bit of colour on this one. Okay, and so we'll smooth this out. We'll go all the way up here. I'm going to go all the way around my walking stick with a bit of shading. Come back here a little bit. And then I've got my white. I have got a white gel pen. And where we did the black and white, just very gently put in a line to give it a bit of a highlight. Then the other thing that I did, this very narrow aura on my letter N, I went all the way around it with my white gel pen. Okay, so don't make it too narrow. You need it narrow enough to get your gel pen nib in. And then what I did, if I went over the black outline, I went back over that with my ruler and my 03 pen. Because as I say, I can't draw a straight line with a ruler even. but you can see where this is heading now, hopefully. This will take you longer than 15 minutes, everyone, so be patient when you have a go. But it will be lovely to see what you do with it. So you can see the white is starting to show off the letter now. And that was what I wanted, really, was to highlight it out. Okay, I didn't do across the top there. So hopefully you can see where this is heading. I want to show you my sample one, which will give you an idea of what it looks like when it's finished. This is the one where we're headed. This started. This is the one that I finished. You can see also I added some little, I call them bluebell flowers, but I coloured them in yellow. I put a couple on there and there. So hopefully a little bit of colour to brighten your day on Easter Sunday. I do hope you've enjoyed that. It is a full tile. It will take a bit longer than 15 minutes, I can assure you. But please, if you're up for it, give it a go. Please post and share. And thank you for being patient and rejoining me. But I honestly think that we've tried to do something different with all these letters. You should see what Nikki's got for letter O next week. I think you'll absolutely love it. It's so different. And then, as I say, you've got me a couple of weeks after that. Thanks, Nikki. Yeah. And if you haven't inked your tiles, maybe worth doing a bit of batch inking and getting some ready, because we tend to use a lot more these days, ink tiles. But on that note, I'm going to love you and leave you. And thank you. Thank you for watching and being patient. And I will see you all soon. Thank you. Bye.